I think I broke
Unlike
a fiddle
Uncle
player.
Bonsai, we don't have to pay for this by the inch.
Yes. They have a live recording where they mention that.
This video is intended to be a very, very short introduction to the second to the last chapter, Ithaca. Okay, so I want to advance the action that we've left the cabman stand. We get to the Bloom house at 7 Eccles Street. It is now the next day. We had Bloom's Day, Bloom's Night, and Bloom's the next day. So it's now early morning. We're probably around 2 a.m. The style of the chapter can throw you. So I wanted to do under 5 minutes, and I'll keep it under 5 minutes, probably keep it under 4 minutes, of the style of this chapter, why it's in that style, and what it means. Now, each style of the book is written in a different style. We've seen that. We've had the exploration of the mind. We've had the typical narrative. We've had the play. We've had the progression of the English language, where it's each written in a style for the gestation of English. We've had many styles. The style of Ithaca is in the style of the Catechism of the Catholic Church. Now, that's how, when I grew up, I don't know how they do it today, but back in the day, and certainly in Joyce's time, the way Catholicism was taught was through this questioning kind of style. You know, who was this? What did they do? What does that mean? What does that lead to? Everything was done by questions. And when you were confirmed as a Catholic, they line up the young people that have studied and had their first communion, and now it's time for the bishop to ask you questions. And if you get all the questions right, they confirm you. Well, the bishop would always ask some lame-o question because they didn't want anybody embarrassed in front of their parents at this big event and flunk confirmation. But that is the traditional way that Catholicism was taught, or the Catechism was taught. The Catechism, meaning the general tenets of Catholicism, was done through this interrogative process. Now, interestingly, that has its roots in Judaism. You know, if you look at any rabbinical type teaching, the rabbis employ the same method, where they would ask the question. You know, you say, Rabbi, what does this mean? What do you think it means? Well, I think it means this. Why do you think it means that? Well, I think it means that because of this. Why do you think it means that because of that? You know, and that's the rabbinical style of teaching as well. So it's pretty easy to tell what happens in the episode, because there's a question, you know, where did they go? They went here. What did they do? They drank this. They made some cocoa. What did they drink it out of? He had a mug, and you know, it's simple stuff to follow. So I wanted to just quickly hit that the style is that of the Catholic Catechism. That's why the interrogative process there. So don't let that throw you off. Interestingly, now, Joyce did get into a legal mess with a guy named Carr, and it's funny that he picked the name Carr as one of the British soldiers that harassed Stephen and punched him, actually. But Joyce did get into a legal thing with this guy Carr, and there was a trial. And I also think that in addition to the Catechism and Judeo Christian tradition of teaching through the interrogative process, which is also goes back to the early philosophers too, So it's not new, this idea of questions. I think also Joyce wants to evoke a trial, a bit, of a examination. Not a trial per se that anybody's on trial, but sort of the style a bit of a trial. So I think there's a blend between the catechistic style and Judaism and that history, early philosophy, and a trial. I think there's a mix of that in there as well. So that's what that's all about. I just wanted to give you something to sort of get you into the chapter so it doesn't throw you off. Pay attention to what happens there and how Stephen and Bloom interact and what the outcome of that interaction is. They actually become quite bonded, but not. So see how that all plays out. See you soon. Thanks.